Okay, we're live again.
Yes, Sirski.
The setups work in progress for sure, but
Damn, bro, we made it happen.
I think everything's right for now. Not as good as we.
I got the table a couple of days ago.
The table is huge for a bedroom.
Yeah, the chairs came with the spot.
We're live again.
Chairs. Oh,
Yes, Sirski.
what?
Setups.
Oh,
It's the echo. It's echo. Turn off the. Go to the stream.
actually. Oh, is that it?
Yeah.
Oh. Let me mute that.
No, just close the window. It'll be
I
fine.
can. Oh, right, you're right.
The chat's popped out. Now we're good. Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I'm still learning everything. My boy Dylan in the cut right now. So I'm back in college, like
should we
back in
close the
Spokane.
door also for the
It should be closed. You're right. I'm gonna hop over.
Yeah, we just.
Okay, a lot of memories are gonna be made in this spot. This is just gonna be one of them, bro. Tonight, we're just making a series of those memories, and I'm super excited, bro. Honestly, I've been looking forward to this for a minute. Like this is episode 2 of the podcast. The first one, so I called my friend Kobe, and we had a bunch of just like internet lag because I got Discord on my laptop. Tried to call him and had all types of issues on it, so it was fucked up. So today, basically, last time we talked about like electric cars, kind of the future of that, and I was kind of curious what you were thinking about, what like where you think we're headed in a positive direction based off what you know, or like we have to build. This is what kind of I learned is we have to build a lot more electrical stations to make it more convenient, so you can travel the whole country or wherever you are, make it like a global effort. If it's gonna be
Yeah. So my like thing about electric cars is that they sound fantastic. Like on paper, they look like a dream come true. You know, like you get in a car and it's powered by electricity, and we have lots of electricity. But there are several things they're not quite as eco-friendly as you would think they are, because they take a lot of resources to produce as well. So that's one thing. 2 is charging, and then 3 is that we don't have unlimited energy like we think we do. We use a lot of fossil fuels, and the more energy we use, the worse it is for our environment. But there is hope, because soon we might be using nuclear fusion energy. But I think in that case, it would be good to like have electric cars because power would become really cheap. But for now, I think generally to improve society, it would be better to focus more on public transportation than it would making cars electric.
What about like electric rails, like electric power
100%.
Transportation? Like let's say, do you think in the long run those electric powered vehicles and transportation save you? Like so, it's not. Yeah, you're right. Because I realize that too. It's not. There's no such thing as a really renewable energy source because it's all pulling from somewhere. So it's like in Doctor Strange. Wait, that's what it's called, right? Doctor Strange. The ancient one is like pulling from the dark, like universe, right? And so it's like you think,
crazy.
yeah, you think that it's like you think it's like even like an ancient or spiritual, like all powerful, all that power comes from somewhere, and it's just like even if we don't have the answers of where it's from. So another thing I learned too is like solar energy isn't as great as we think it is for the environment either.
That's what I'm saying.
Like having solar panels on your houses might not be the best long term, but like maybe so.
I sincerely think nuclear fusion is going to save us, because that can generate
nuclear fusion, bro. I've never really heard of that.
Okay. So let me break it down. This is what I know of it, but I'd love to talk to someone who knows more about it.
Yeah.
So you know how we have nuclear power plants and these generate power? Well, these are all fission energy, which is atoms splitting apart. That generates lots of energy, of course. It's what powered the atomic bombs. But scientists are working on making fusion energy, which is what happens when you combine
and instead of splitting.
And then that releases energy as well. And the thing
Ooh.
is, it's when you do it, it doesn't take like uranium and plutonium. I believe it doesn't take those.
Like combining and splitting atoms or cells? Like atoms?
Atoms. So when you're combining these atoms, it releases a ton of energy, and it it has yet to be turned into like a large scale thing. Like it's possible they've done it, but it's not implemented yet. But if you could do that, you could power an entire city for like dirt cheap.
Yeah.
And then you could just have one of those in each city, like supplying the power grid, and that would make energy really accessible to people. But that might not be a good thing because energy generates like people use that to generate more carbon, and we don't need more carbon. But I wanted to ask,
Emissions.
so climate change. I think it's terrible, but there are some people going on like Republican debates saying that it's a hoax. What do you think about those people?
Bro, you have to be fucked in the head to think that climate change is a motherfucking hoax, bro. Cause okay, look at around us. Okay, maybe you might not see it in your day to day life, but that's a lot of the things that we miss in life is we just don't pay attention about it. I know of it because how do I know of it from real life examples? Let's say
Smoke in the air.
it's been honestly you can tell that it's kind of warmer in certain climates that you grow up in over the years, and smoke in the air. Yeah, smoke from like different places and stuff like that, and like you can tell, you can feel pollution, you can feel high levels of pollution. You know what I mean?
Bro, for real. And like going outside when it's like that, you're just like, oh fuck. And then also if you're in a city where it's just like smoggy, like.
That like New York, I've been in New York. My brother's been in like places in China where it's like Shanghai or whatever.
Yeah.
Hong Kong, I think is super.
Well, people blame China for pollution as well because they do pollute significantly more than the U.S.
Yeah, but they also are just like a manufacturing super.
Dude, we can't get started on China.
What?
China's just gonna come in and nuke the algorithm if we talk about them.
I don't want to get nuked, in any regard, but B2-8s in Smash! My boy B2-8s in Smash, bro. He has to save the replay. We have to tell him to save the replay really quick.
He's
save the replay! He said so. Let's go! Alright, we're gonna watch that later. So my boy, okay, so in Smash, can I explain real quick? So we have Super Smash Bros. Again. Downstairs on Malik's Switch, he has a Switch. And we group invested for another Pro Controller, and pretty cheap one. It was like $40. So we've been fighting. I've been running a gauntlet, so I start with like fighting two level 3s, and then working your way up. You beat 2, you beat like 4s, 5.
Yeah, Malik was doing 2 7s down there.
He could beat probably 2 8s, no problem. He's the best one probably out of all of us, easily.
Can you take 3?
I beat 3 7s, I think, and we were trying to go for 3 8s. No, it was me and so you can team up and face like harder opponents or do just 1v2. So we've been trying to face like 1 versus 2 8s, and that's been kind of like the hardest. So I beat it once this morning, and I haven't been able to beat it since. Apparently, Kate just beat it, and I'm excited to see.
Dude, what about 9s? The PB 9s?
That's what I'm on, bro. Like I'm getting closer and closer. I'll let you know when I do, bro. I'm gonna save the replay, and I'm not probably what I'm thinking is like Smash is a good game to have just muted gameplay, but just like have it playing in the background. If I want to do a commentary video, just talk about something, just have something playing in the background. So
that's good. And then
I'm getting better for y'all. If you're watching, bro, if anyone's here trying to, listen to something, be able to watch something.
I don't think anyone will tune in today, but I think there's a legit possibility that someone will watch after the fact.
Yeah, that's cool.
Even if we get 1 view,
okay. Bro, I'm having a good ass time, bro. I wish I had like a drink or two. So should I tell him? No. We'll save it. Shit, I mean, because it's gonna be like nothing even happened. Probably by next week. So I'm starting school and shit too. I have classes. Today's Friday, so I mean, get to enjoy the weekend finally. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
Been settling in and everything. Just got my whole like room situated and.
Dude, the room is in a sorry state right now.
It really is.
Bro,
What do you think I need next? Like just like sheets. I'm gonna get so I have a cover sheet. Like it's just gotta wash that. But yeah, I do need a couple things.
Did you move in today, bro?
It was like a week and a half ago. Can you believe that?
You're down.
I've been
for
couch surfing it, bro. I've been couch surfing it for a few days, but like had a good ass show to watch. The Boys. Have you seen any of The Boys?
You tighten up.
For real. Okay. So another thing is, all right. So you want to get into serious talk or just like talk about what you've been up to too? Because we can talk about like anything.
Like if you want to see what I'm up to, if you're watching my stream, probably 3 or 4 days a week on Twitch at I Hate Dylan. I stream chess, and I'm almost a Twitch affiliate. I gotta get 50 followers, and I got 36, and then I got an average.
Stream for us in about.
Oh yeah, I passed out a long time ago.
How
and
long?
then it's like 12 hours, I think.
That's it.
Yeah, and then you got an average 3 viewers, and I'm at 2.8.
Let's go. I'm gonna keep tuning in, bro. I want you to become an affiliate.
Dude, yeah, affiliate would be dope. And then partner is crazy though. You gotta get 75 viewers average, I think.
75?
Yeah.
No, dude, because the average. Oh wait, like, isn't it like on Twitch, like 90% of users, like Twitch streamers, don't get an average of more than like 5 viewers or something like that?
Yeah, I think most don't, but I mean.
But it's easier to get in that top 90% because if you actually have like something going on.
Yeah, if you got an affiliate, you can make your chat like cooler and shit, which I'm trying to do. But anyway, that's enough about me.
Yeah.
You know where to find me.
No, that's fire, bro. Yeah, I'm trying to start up this podcast and shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna keep on trying to do this. I think I'm just gonna keep on checking in every weekend.
Dude, you need to slide out to Oregon and we'll do this at my crib and like I got this set up.
Because it's actually pretty easy. It's getting easier to set up on the go to. I'm doing this off my fucking laptop, so that's clutch.
Dude, we can just log you in on YouTube to my like Streamlabs account, and I got everything set up for you.
Bro, I want to set disclaimers too now because this is early on in the podcast, and this is gonna have like I believe this. I personally firmly believe that this podcast is gonna last to have hundreds of episodes. It's gonna be going on. It's gonna just develop over like the years. Okay, I do believe that, and it's just gonna because it's like if I take care of it, it's like planting a seed, making it like growing a plant, raising a baby. You know what I'm saying? This is my baby.
Are you always gonna call it Walk Through Life?
I think I like that title. I like the title because it just reminds me to just like not take things too fast through life, and also to just kind of like. Like the imagery of it makes me think of just like walking down a path within like a scenic path and just taking in the surrounding at the same time. So we're learning and we're also appreciating like what life is because there's a lot that can be taken away. You know what I'm saying? Life can be gone in a flash too. So that's the crazy part about it too. So like it's not like a news channel. It's not like a crazy conspiracy theory podcast.
It's just like
a type shit. And I want it to be mobile. That's the other thing. So I'm going to take it to Oregon. We're going to do it on the go-to. I want to be able to do like a wilderness one. Take it fucking camping.
That would be
a remote area.
That would be tight. We need lights for that though.
We'll do a setup. Yeah, we'll do like maybe like I was thinking in like a van or something at the back of a U-Haul or something. Like rent a U-Haul.
That'd be kind of fire.
Yeah, just rent it, take it out somewhere. And do something, yeah. So anyways, so that was it. I was thinking like, as far as, I want to be able to just do hour like installments. If I just do it like by the week, that's like 50 episodes a year. You know what I'm saying?
Are you gonna commit to 50 episodes a year though?
See, so that's the topic of the day: is commitment. Is can I really do every Friday? Maybe every Friday night. So Friday Walk Through Life at dropping. Friday at night. Maybe not so late. It's like 12:45 right now. It's a little bit late, but yeah, maybe at a more proper time. yeah, I definitely feel like that would just like get me on a way where when I'm sitting and just like it's like critical thinking almost. It was like practicing my critical thinking um, to talk about what's really important and basically just get to the root of that. So that's like kind of just like
Okay, so what's important today?
right now, like today.
Like what you got to talk about?
Oh, one thing I did want to talk about was what were we talking about? So okay, um, if I could, we actually took very interesting notes in my like classes. So
Okay.
I'm taking a couple comm classes, but I've never taken before, and so I want to just go over real quick. Just these definitions that I had of it was.
We're loading. We're loading.
Facts.
We're loading. Loading up notes.
So it was just communism, etc. Positioning, equity, marketing. So this is going to be.
You just said things that don't go together: communism, equity, and marketing.
This is me flipping through. I don't even need it. So basically, we're talking about the start of capitalism. So we're talking about capitalism in America and how capitalism has not. It's not rooted with American history in the way that we think it is, where it's not like tied in with the birth of America. So
I disagree.
So apparently, so this is what, according to my professor, one of my professors, unnamed, because I'll have to confirm this, but she said, she said that America, like, outdated North America and like the United States out predated capitalism.
Well, a lot of the reason people were coming over here to colonies like Virginia was to engage in the tobacco trade, which is involved with capitalism going back again into slavery, which is like the purest form of capitalism, like buying and selling human beings. It's like capitalism at its most extreme.
Yeah.
So I think,
And
especially given how prominent a role both of those played, sorry.
Because, okay, so we were thinking about another way of like, there were other definitions that got brought into play, like feudalism, and how feudalism was a big part of what, like, in the United Kingdom, growing up, like, and that was kind of like,
Yeah.
like, the migration over to the U.S.
You got a big map.
You're right, I got the world map right on the other side of the camera, but to help me out with that. But, like, yeah, just so basically how feudalism is, the slaves all working for the royal class or the rich class, and so it's like translated in capitalism a little bit through, the government wasn't always the government. It's like you translate that to parliament. What started with the colonies is what I'm really interested in. Is like, what history do we know about, let's say, like the Pilgrims and the colonialism?
Well, so there's this book I think you should read. It's called Democracy in America. You might want to get the cliff notes of it. Watch a couple videos as a summary. Like, listen to a podcast about it because it's 900 pages.
Yeah.
But it's all about how people lived back then, and people were like actively a part of societies, and like helping your neighbor was so much more important. Like, we didn't go to people for services for everything. We just like helped each other out, and that happened a lot more. Now it's just kind of transactional.
Yeah,
so
because now
capitalism has grown in our country, but back then it was like capitalism was the economic system, not the way of life.
And I asked that. I was like, back in the day before kind of currency existed the way it does now, like even before coins and stuff, we would barter. I'll trade your horse for this land. That count as a form of capitalism? And they said yes. And so like capitalism really did. I think it did exist, and I was baffled to hear that. And I wanted to look that up. So, like, let's say
Marx has a lot to say about that.
Right. So Karl Marx. So it's so interesting you bring that up. What I was really interested in before we dive into that, because I want to dive into that, is where America was before, where it was intended to go, where it is now, and where it's headed. And so that's what's important to me, to answer your question. That's kind of what's important to me. Kind of like, right, that's what's been on my mind. I'm like, because I gotta live here. We're gonna live here for our whole lives, basically, until we find somewhere, if we get enough money to move, or if we really want to move, or if, like, because I feel like I want to do good work here in America. I want to do good stuff, because there's good stuff to be done here as well as in this is, I mean, it's a first world country. Technically,
It's also
too.
just more practical to help in America. And then also we have a variety of problems here that need solving. I think while it's necessary to assert ourselves charitably in the international scene, like as a country, if we're gonna solve some problems, we should probably do it here.
Yeah, I agree.
And also just stay out of other folks' business. Like to some extent, yes, if they ask for help, go give it to them. But if they don't ask, don't show up.
America is part of the United Nations. That's huge. So like another thing, I was just like, I mean, I've been misinformed, or just like not informing myself on like the Ukraine Russia conflict and stuff. But
Dude, I'm not
just
gonna
learning
lie.
it.
I haven't been informing myself on that too much either. Generally, I don't like that the U.S. is providing aid to Ukraine. I think we should stay out of it, and it's helping fuel the military-industrial complex. But I also see where there's human rights concerns.
yeah, it's like some. What do
Do
you see
you think Putin's gonna like pull a Duke out?
on Ukraine?
Maybe.
That would be a sad day. It'd be sad, bro. Like that'd be sad as fuck.
What do you think?
I don't know. It would just be
What do you think the United
It's gonna
States
start
should
a
do
war.
in response?
the UN or just like or
Just the United States.
United States. Dude, we have to like kidnap Putin or something. We have to just do like a Black Ops mission on him.
Do we like for real go to war if that happens?
Well, okay. So this is Ukraine is trying to become a part of the United UN.
Well,
So,
they are part of the UN. It's
So
NATO.
so it is because the conflict with UN is a conflict with like that. That's a it's like it's almost like you need a reasonable what's it called? Beyond reasonable doubt to arrest or something like that.
Mhm.
Or it's like yeah, so you need a cause, and I think that would be a cause to declare war, right? From our perspective, because Russia's a superpower and
well,
like we're a superpower.
that's well, they're conducting a war without nukes, and we haven't gone to war for them yet because they're not part of NATO. Well, in the UN, UN states fight all the time, but it's like our military alliance.
It's just
NATO.
different because it's not every day that a nuke is dropped.
Facts.
Yeah, so like, cause the thing about how all the wars started, World War One started how? Cause like, how were we taught in World War One?
Well, okay, we were told it started because they killed Archduke Franz Ferdinand,
Sniped him
but-
with it.
but also like the situation leading up to that was very bad. Like they were building up their armies.
Right.
getting
That's
ready.
what I feel like they kind of gloss over, and that's what I learned in retrospect is there was a lot more of that. Like that war was gonna start anyways. Besides whether they called it like the Big Bang moment, the climax moment, which maybe it was.
Yeah.
Frank Ferdinand getting shot. So, anyways, I was gonna move on to like a little bit more of like, okay, we're talking about oh yeah, Karl Marx and stuff. You were gonna say
Yeah. So the origin of capitalism.
Mhm.
So Marx laid all this out in what's called value theory, which is like how did we get from value to money? Like how did we look at something? Yeah, value theory.
Yeah, I've heard that a million
Like-
times.
What he thought was that what's valuable was labor. Labor created value, and then that value eventually we needed like a placeholder for it. And that placeholder is money, the money form of value.
Yeah. Like you worked for me for the day, and now what do I have to give you? I can either let's say we work on a farm. That was easier back in the day. That's like kind of farming is actually it's built into the roots of before it's of any civilization, right?
Mhm.
And that's the cool part about farming, fishing, the things that are more rooted to nature, which they're just like kind of like they're the foundation. But
Do you
so we
think-
can learn. Yeah.
Just on that point, do you think it would be better to live like a more agricultural lifestyle, like in harmony with nature?
It would be cool. It would be really cool. Community gardens. I've already talked about that. It's like some right. It's some cool ass shit because like community supported agriculture (CSAs). I learned about that while abroad in Italy, bro,
Mm.
and that was one of the best classes I ever took. I mean, I had a great professor for it too. But like, it's just a great way. So okay, it extends to so we can take the so here it gets more interesting though. you can take the agriculture part of it,
Mhm.
and then apply it to different aspects of our life, to like let's say law.
Mhm.
Say you get into a rear end, it's not about like suing each other so much as we help each other kind of like get through our problems so that we all have less problems to deal with,
Yeah.
type shit. So it's like we just kind of throw away the unimportant stuff. If it's like let's say no,
You're
no,
just
like-
advocating for a more like direct way of living.
yeah. So just like so that courts don't have to take months to process things when it's more of a matter of fact, because you have to assemble entire juries to make a decision when you can ask a jury digitally, right? You can ask a jury virtually at the by instant.
Do you
And-
think? Do you think like putting them digitally removes them from the crime a little bit though? Like I would say being in the same room as someone and having to judge them and say like, oh shit, you're going to prison. I think that's kind of compelling. I don't necessarily disagree that we could speed up the judicial system, but maybe being in the room with someone is valuable.
Yeah, it's just like maybe we have to just some way increase just like the flow of how it happens, so we can do it just like a little bit more. Because they say quick and speedy trial, but like
Yes.
it lasts a while. Like for more, it's like the more evidence you bring forward, I guess so law is different. I mean, law is its own thing. There's so much going on in the world that it's hard to avoid. That taking a long time.
Yeah. So I guess my career at the moment is really in government modernization. So speeding up those processes, I help speed up the way people get paid for like large scale benefit systems like unemployment and paid leave. But I think the government is actively looking into ways to modernize its systems in like a comprehensive manner because our shit runs like butter, low key. Like everyone gets paid on time. There's like everything's good. I feel like, but in other areas like policing, I want to talk about the impact technology can have on policing. If you don't mind.
Yeah. Wait, so what do you mean?
So
It can be vastly improved by increased funding, so it can like improve the technology.
So, what would you think about this? Making live streams of officers' body cams available after like 2 or 3 hours. Just like no exceptions.
For every
Yep.
officer?
Mhm.
So, like, viewable by who?
Well, the
The public?
the general public, and then if there's something like super objectionable, like a murder or like someone naked, they'll censor it.
Oh, words. Okay, so you think that's possible, theoretically, to stream everybody's at once?
Yeah.
You think that can't overload anything? So let's say a database
Think
for
about
you
what
look
they-
up LA or Spokane County or whatever, like police department,
Mhm.
and you look up an officer list or something like that, or like by area, and then you can see their live stream like that. That would work.
Yeah, for previous days, because it would be bad to have that happen while they're investigating something. Like if the criminal's watching the stream on their phone, like if they're in a car chase or some shit, they would know where the police are. But if you release it the next day, and then like just have
And it's recorded. It's not just on a stream where you can view it once. You can go back to it and use it. So for evidence.
Yeah, and then if you don't do it, or your shit breaks down, you gotta go back to the station. Like, no exceptions.
So that when the trial comes along, you're not seeing the evidence for the first time. You've been seeing the evidence for that whole time.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of these police officers that are involved in like brutality killings have their body cams off. And like, if it's off, like they should have someone at the fucking department with a bunch of screens on.
Yeah,
It's
that's
just
a
like
red.
all the officers.
Yeah, that's a bad sign. I mean, let's say they're going to the bathroom. They go to the donut shop. They have to go to the restaurant. They have to go to the bathroom for like 5 minutes, and then
Well, if you're on duty, think, are you going to the donut shop during the middle of your
Yeah,
job?
there's actually you'd be okay. That was
Do your
dumb because you'd really know because yeah, you'd be
Do your fucking job when you're on
yeah,
the clock.
you'd have
man.
your badge number. They'd know if you do something wrong. Yeah, because that would really that's another thing. Stop police brutality. That's another like help the police do their jobs and help them arrest the right people and stuff like that.
Well, they're poorly
And-
trained. Is the thing. The police are very poorly trained.
So better law enforcement. Let's make that the header. Better law enforcement, right?
This is topics to research later, in case that wasn't apparent.
Yeah. So better training. We're just gonna have live streamed body cams after like 2-3 hours, or like after a certain amount of hours.
Day, maybe.
Day after. For evidence gathering and like. And then
then
keep officers like accountable.
And this is just
on-
people like on the beat. Nobody like, no detectives or anything. But if you're a detective, you shouldn't be out there stopping crimes and confronting people. You should be doing your job.
Better though. Yeah, that's really important. That would help out the community. Like things that I think about is take that community agriculture idea and apply it to other things. So if we do that with the law enforcement, that's take our funding like for education in general, like training. Yeah, just help train people better so they're doing their jobs right. I mean, let's say. I mean, I don't know if we had many other accidents. Like, what else would you think would, like, compare to things that go wrong in comparison to, like, with police officers? Like, with brutality, attack.
School shootings.
That's what I was just thinking is happening now, more days than ever. Is the other thing. So, prevention is,
Dude,
or arming more of the
I think
teachers.
there's no. You're
against
shitting
that?
me.
You're
shitting
against that?
me.
I
That's
mean,
a-
I don't know what to think about that, because I don't like...
no, we shouldn't have guns in classrooms.
That's good.
Because then the disturbed kid
You just got
has to,
shoot out, so that's a bad... That's
like the teacher leaves for a second, the disturbed kid just goes for the gun and fucking ends it all in a blaze of glory. Like, that's such a
Oh, fuck, you're right.
that's such a bad idea.
The students are gonna, like, figure out how to
We
get in there.
need to, like, really fix society to stop school shootings.
But, like, nobody wants to. There's money in that shit, and apparently selling guns and shit, I guess. So, like, I don't know.
The NRA pays
So we have to
for
figure-
ads.
So we need to out-incentivize people. Like, they're incentivized to do bad shit. We have to out-incentivize them to do good shit somehow.
Well, it's
Or
not
something.
that simple because our Constitution has a Second Amendment, and if you open the door for guns, you open the door for mass shootings. And we've opened the door for guns, and there's no going back because there are guns out there already. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like you can't.
That's
round
what
up
I
all the
was
guns.
saying too. Even if we change the laws, all the guns that have already been distributed, you can't take them for everybody unless this. And then I'm gonna pitch you an idea, and whoever can laugh at it, nobody's watching, but anybody can laugh at it. What if we assign our own military, pull them from here, where they're being like over assigned, and bring them back into the States, enforce this no gun policy? Because what's taking every single person's guns away gonna do? Is that gonna hurt anybody? I mean, unless people fight to the death for their gun rights.
So the problem isn't what
Okay.
happens now; it's what happens later. Because if our government becomes corrupt, the government's very corrupt already, but it doesn't engage in open violence except through the police. But our government doesn't like openly engage in violence against us. But think if shit goes a little crazy and we don't have any guns, how are we going to stop the government from trampling all over us, going back to feudalism?
Well, it's like, the government already keeps us in check without force, without like physical force anyway. You know what I'm saying? So like,
But our
This
government
is-
could get worse.
yeah, Well, our government could do things way beyond like I don't know that I'm scared of our government because I think it deserves to be scared. Like
Exactly.
it
And
deserves
so
to be feared.
letting them take all our guns
They
isn't
lead
good.
by fear, not by love, bro, at all. Like somewhere like Sweden or like Denmark, bro, like they lead more by love, and they're more about this stuff that we're talking about, honestly.
They are, I feel like, a step in the right direction, but they also rely on labor and like they have exploitative deals with people in third world countries.
Really?
Yeah.
Exploited it? Like,
Yeah.
What do you mean?
So like instead of like they pay people to do cheaper labor in Africa and South America, just like we do.
Mm.
So
shit.
they're like
people.
all rich and happy because other people are poor and
Oh, it's like fucking Saudi Arabia. No, it's like is that like Saudi Arabia? Or no, not like Saudi
Dubai.
Arabia. Dubai.
yeah, but Dubai actually has like legit slavery. This is just like economic tomfoolery.
Yeah.
So I mean, nowhere is perfect. Is the thing.
So that's what I'm kind of getting to as well as like, what's been our best example? Like, so this has been our best examples is in ancient civilizations.
Yes,
Because
bro.
people, people, and hear me now, people way back before us set like not centuries, yes, centuries ago before us, before all this mumbo jumbo that we know today, figured out a way to live in harmony with one another across maybe even tribes and stuff. That's before I feel like human nature, overpopulation,
Mhm.
maybe just natural elements started to kick
Well,
in and made us
lived
start fighting over ourselves.
We lived like that for hundreds of thousands of years, and we don't really know exactly how it was, but the last 10,000 years in the advent of like literacy, being able to write,
What should we call it?
and
Wait,
agriculture.
that should we figure out? Can we figure out what that era is called? Maybe like that
Hunter gatherer.
is it? Well, yeah, because like where they had like the
Stone
aqueducts, I
Age?
think started coming around.
The Stone
Something
Age?
like that. Like in Mesopotamia.
The Stone Age?
The Stone Age, is it that early?
Yeah. Before bronze, because bronze was the next one, and that's what they did in like Euphrates.
Bro, the Bronze
Tigris.
Age started all of this shit. I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah,
That's
it's
what
actually it was the agricultural revolution when people started farming. When people started farming, they settled down in one place and like started farm laborers and shit instead of existing in tribes. And so as people grew more rich and powerful, they started to like rule over people. And that's how the first kings and shit came into existence. People just accumulated wealth.
Do you think like weed and mushrooms existed back in these times?
Dude, you should read Food of the Gods by Terence McKenna.
Terence McKenna?
Yes. I'm not sure I'm down with all of his claims, that Mr. McKenna fella, but he has some interesting claims. He thinks that, like, writing, perhaps, came from mushrooms, like mushrooms unlocked new capabilities in our mind to,
Oh,
like, get us.
is that the guy? I think I like.
Yeah, Stone
I'm
Age
thinking
Theory.
of like this one book, like in general, that's like talked about that. Well, I heard that mentioned in the Joe Rogan podcast.
Yeah, Stone Age Theory, bro. It's Food of the Gods. It's a bang.
Joe Rogan is a stoned ape. That's hilarious. Ties in perfectly. Hey, what? How long have we going now? Let's say
38 minutes.
38 minutes. You got time, or do you want to keep going, or what do you think?
I don't know. You
got
gotta
any
take
more break, or
You got any more topics?
Oh, I got plenty of topics, like whatever you think. So, did you want to talk about those rappers? You want to like switch gears a bit and talk about more like fun shit? It's up to you. Or we can keep it like.
I
more
would say I
important
can probably stream for around like 15 minutes or so.
Yeah, that's cool.
So,
Keep that shit light, and I'm just like I mean, wait, have you heard of what Missing 11 is? 411 is? Because I've never. It's what just
I
came.
know there's
like,
a-
videos and stuff.
I know there's like a YouTube video about it.
Hmm.
It's like some mystery.
Mystery. It's like a missing flight or something, maybe. I don't know. He
I think
just
it's
said,
like some missing kids.
"Oh shit, it's fucked up."
But,
So
ooh.
history stuff.
Yeah, did we want to talk about?
Ooh, worship.
Yeah. Okay, so how do you worship, bro?
Me personally.
Mhm.
Okay, so me, and I'll be honest with you. This is me just being completely honest. I've been trying to pray again because I used to pray more regularly, but now it's been more of just like when I find times to and when I'm consciously thinking about it, I'll stop just in whatever I'm doing in the moment. Like sitting down is a great time, or like I won't always kneel down by my bed or anything like that. But like sometimes if I'm feeling like in that mood, like spiritual, like in that mood, I'll like kneel down by my bed and like fold my hands, pray, close my eyes, pray, and just for me, I talk to God. For me, like that's how I see it. I'm talking to God, and I'm kind of like relaying what I've learned about Him, kind of like as if we're like it's going to school, and telling your parents when you get home from school what you learned about from school that day. And it's me kind of just like relaying that and more about what He can do, what God can do, and what Jesus has done, like for us, and also like just in general what He did. And it was just like so incredible that it's just like being admired. And so part of it is like admiring and like worshiping, and then also just like asking the things that He can give, like guidance on and like strength through certain things and just whatever you're going through, just finding ways. So me, I'm just like working on my speech with that, like in my head, just like being more eloquent and just being able to talk to them fluidly. You know what I mean?
That sounds good.
How about you? No, I'm playing.
I
I'm playing.
don't.
No.
I got some interesting religious ideas.
Yeah.
At the moment, so
We don't have to get into it, but.
I mean, yeah, it just depends on what you want to go.
So okay, I was curious about. So I have no idea besides about the earliest signs of God that people know of. But so basically, the train of thought that I was going down was, how are people supposed to all believe in God? It's like, is there ever going to be a day where everyone is convinced? Let's say God, Jesus Christ or God really does descend from the heavens one day, because some days I wonder what this timeline really is. We're on big ass rocks in space, and it's part of the solar system, which is other big rocks, and we're all floating in this like line. It's like we all exploded from nothing, is what we're known to believe, but it was just so many millions of years ago that we have no way of knowing, actually, which is the crazy part. So that's what gives me faith, is like that we're here right now and we have actual cool stuff going on, like with each other and all this life that exists, and like something gave birth to all of that, like something pushed that all to happen, and like maybe somebody is watching this all like as like a big ass art project, like something. That's how I like to think about it sometimes too. It's like it's just it's crazy. It's so much to think about, And then so another thing I was thinking about too. I was curious what your maybe take on this is, like in a broad sense. So in a broad sense, like religion being mingled with science, and how science can be used to either maybe prove or disprove things about religion. Like,
It won't. I think most religious claims are by nature unprovable. Like, from within our reality,
yeah,
we can't prove things about outside our reality. Like God being infinite and eternal, like our mode of comprehension is too limited to know about things like that for sure.
Yeah.
We can have theories, but
exactly, and that's the thing that comes back to my idea of faith, and the definition of it to me is the fact that you don't know 100% if it exists or not, if heaven exists, if hell exists, if God exists, if the devil exists, if good and evil are real things, or just like we're just humans. There's nothing beyond what's on the planet, and like or it's whatever, it's like it could just be space, endless space, and nothingness, right? Like I've gone through those thoughts before too. But faith is like I think of it like the leap of faith. That's all what it comes down to. It's the perfect analogy, because you don't know if you're gonna make that jump or not. Whatever you're jumping for, the leap of faith, like you don't know if you're gonna make it, but you get that faith. So that's just what like. So that's like the Energizer Bunny Energizer Bunny battery.
I got
That's
you.
what
And I mean, faith can be applied in a number of different directions. You can have faith in like many different aspects of life.
In yourself, 100%. Like that's what I believe in over everything. Is that's what keeps me believing in stuff. Like even as small as like a podcast, being able to grow to let's say I would like to have an average of 5,000 people watch every episode in the next 2 years or so. I don't know. I'm spitballing, but it might be doable.
On a 5,000 live or 5,000.
Nah, I don't know if I'll do live show. Oh, I guess I will do live podcasts, but I don't know if each of them will be like this. I might do some pre-recorded and some live. So we'll see. That's the goal still. Yeah, 5,000 people. Yeah, that's not that many.
We're at 45 minutes. Should probably wrap it up.
Oh yeah,
I'm gonna
facts.
be up early.
Damn, that's crazy. All right, we might as well just end it and then.